host of the NFL Game Day Morning and the Rich Eisen Show on DirecTV's Audience Network. And Rich joins us now. Have you ever interviewed Belichick?
Yes. and it's on remote.
No.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And how did it go?
One-on-one is one thing when you can have eye contact.
Yeah.
But another one is when, and it's also during the draft. Belichick has always been kind enough to present himself for interviewing in the middle of the draft when they're done with a day.
How did it go?
I guess they're not trading up or down, and it's a quiet time because he and Mayock go way back. He was Mayock's first special teams coach for the Giants. So Bill and Mayock go way back, and so he comes on our coverage, and I welcome him in and essentially hand him off to Mayock for 4 questions and get one more in, and then that's it. Those have been my Belichick interview.
Yeah, I've never interviewed
but
him.
I have met him several times off air at the kickoff ceremony for the Patriots that I've hosted for them a few years, and he's just a regular guy with a sense of humor, loves music.
Why is he difficult in press conferences?
Because you have to ask him questions he will answer. And you can't ask him yes or no questions because he will give you a yes or a no. You have to ask him questions he will answer. It's on the media as much as it is on him, Dan. It really, really is. You hear some of the questions just like, you've been in all these Manning-Brady games for years. What's sort of been the common theme in taking down Peyton Manning? And in these games, and I guess all the common theme is Peyton.
Yeah. No, I thought it was a great answer.
What does Peyton Manning do that causes you in a film room to – is he doing anything differently, Bill, than the first time that you've met him? Now he can wax rhapsodic a little bit. He's not giving away much of his game plan. But
you just said, has he done anything different? And he can say yes or no.
Yes, but you could say, what has he done different?
Yes. You have to have it open-ended with him. But even then, there are times when people are asking about a game, and they go, we're on to Cincinnati. Hey, how about we're on to Cincinnati? Hey, how about we're on to Cincinnati?
Yeah, he's not one of those coaches like Rex who's going to start, acting like he's on the couch and you're his therapist.
Yeah, but Rex is auditioning. He's going to be in TV next year, so Rex is ready for that role. Bill Belichick is not getting into TV.
No, when Bill wants to finish, he's going to go fishing, I imagine, or something.
We were talking about dynasties with the Giants winning 3 World Series in 5 years. What's the last NFL dynasty?
Oh, the Cowboys, I think. Or you can, I don't know. You can go the Patriots, obviously, in the aughts, the 3 and 4 years they did. That's a dynasty. Yeah, I'd go with that.
Okay.
The Brady, the Mo Lewis hit that birthed that dynasty that ran through Jacksonville, where they beat the Eagles to go back to back, and that's what I would go there.
Well, it's tough. I think our definition of dynasty has changed just because of free agency. Just the fluctuation that we have with teams that, the Big Red Machine, the Cincinnati Reds in the 70s wouldn't stay together. You couldn't afford to keep those guys together.
Right.
Certain teams stayed together, the Steelers in the 70s. You're not keeping that defense, everybody together, all those offensive stars. Because everybody's going to, as soon as they win a Super Bowl, everybody's going to want their money, just like what happened with Seattle. So the dynasty definition, I think it changes almost from decade to decade.
Yeah, well, you could even throw the Patriots dynasty lasting from 2001 through their undefeated regular season year of 2007, and it ended when the Giants beat them in the Super Bowl, and the next year Bernard Pollard went into Brady's knee. You could say that it went through there, even though they didn't win Super Bowls in between, past them beating the Eagles. Because the Patriots, it's just for a dynasty. Certainly in this free agency era, you have to have the coach and the quarterback and a few players who are the stalwarts, and then a general manager or a front office that can changed the parts, right? So you have Randy Moss being inserted, and Wes Welker being inserted earlier. You had all those Troy Browns and David Pattons of the world, and Corey Dillon replaced. Was it Antoine Smith who ran for them and beating Carolina 11 years ago? It's just. But Brady and Belichick were the mainstays. Some of the offensive linemen, defensive players like Richard Seymour and Willie McGinnis, Bruschi, Rodney Harrison was swapped in. So you could say that was a dynastic team. I would definitely say those Patriots of 01 through 07 were a dynasty.
It's Rich Eisen from the NFL Network. They got the game tonight with Carolina and the Saints. McLovin said the winner of tonight's game is going to the playoffs. What do you think?
Yeah, I think you could say that because they're going to win the NFC South, tonight's winner. Because
somebody has to.
I don't think the Falcons are going to come back from 2-6, and the Bucs are pretty much out. And the winner of this game goes into first place in the NFC South. But even if Carolina does win this and improve to 4-4-1, 3-5 is not too far behind for New Orleans, and New Orleans has Cam coming in their house in Week 14. So I think the Saints can still win this division even if they lose tonight.
Tony,
I don't want to go against that grain, Dan, but I just felt the need to right there.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. That's the way I roll.
Wow.
Certainly when I have a phone in my hands and I'm using technology and stuff to deliver my phrase. Have you ever been? I mean, you've been in many trophy presentations, Dan.
Yeah.
When you give the mic up,
you'd never give the mic up.
But you can't. Yeah, I mean, what if they say you got to? Baseball says to Fox, Aaron's got to introduce Rick Vilde or whatever, and he's got to say something.
But
what do you do?
No. You say to them, "I'm going to read the sponsorship." Rick, on behalf of Chevrolet, can hand the keys to Madison Bumgarner. Get the photo op. He can't be reading it. That's not what he does.
But what if the sponsor demands it, Dan?
You tell the sponsor, I want this to be great. I can guarantee you I will make this great. You have to do it whether you believe it or not. You have to do that. I got to protect this guy. He's on live TV.
No, Dan.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Rich, when I handed out the Corvette to Eli at the Super Bowl and he didn't want the keys, I had to read it. I had to read the copy. I couldn't have had somebody at Chevrolet go, and the Chevy Corvette, black on black, and then all of a sudden hand the keys to Eli in front of 100 million people.
So here we go. This is good stuff because this is what we do in the sports media, certainly the NFL media. Who's to blame, Dan? Who gets the finger of blame for last night's trophy ceremony? Who's to blame?
The guy who agreed to let Rick Wilde or Rick Wild read.
Isn't it Wilde?
I think he's Wild.
He's born to be such, that's for sure.
He's got 2 K's in his first name. He's Rick Wild.
Doesn't he? That's wild.
Yes, he's Rick Wild. Probably in Dokken or one of those bands. I think he played drums. Yes, he's Rick Pantera. I think he played.
I felt so bad. I mean, just, oh, my goodness.
I felt terrible for the dude, but you have to know what his limitations are. And the poor guy was probably rushing down to the podium there, and he trying to catch his breath. He's reading, and then technology and stuff, and I'm going...
Technology and stuff.
Can you do that tonight as the phrase that pays during the NFL Network's coverage of Thursday Night Football, technology and stuff?
Oh, Dan. We didn't even need to have this conversation.
I didn't think so.
Tonight. Let's just put it down.
All right, coverage starts
the fruit can't hang any lower than that, Dan.
Coverage starts at 6 Eastern on the NFL Network. The only place to find the game tonight is on the NFL Network. Thank you, Rich.
You bet, Dan.
Rich Eisen from the NFL Network and also the Rich Eisen Show on DirecTV's Audience Network.